Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It's Google MF Michael Fletcher alongside my good buddy Anthony Florio. Unfortunately, we will not have Michael Bullock here tonight due to commitments beyond his control. We will see him back on Tuesday night for another edition of Ridiculously Raw when we get that going. So, guys, we have a lot of things to cover tonight. We got TNA Wrestling. We also got SmackDown Live. We also will have it once the show ends. I will have a brief little thing on AAA. They do have a show going on tonight, so we'll talk about AAA, and then obviously for all you soccer fans, I will have the entire quarterfinals of the FIFA World Cup. That's why I've been not. And the reason why I haven't done any videos was because I was going to try to do all four games, lump it all together in one thing. We do have a game right now going at this time, Argentina versus Switzerland. It is 1-1. We're in the 80th. We're in the 82nd minute. We may go to extra time. If that's the case, that's 30 extra minutes we might have to wait for. I'll keep you posted. There is a major problem. Switzerland is down a man. Red card situation broke out a short while ago. And it was a two yellows equaled red, which led to an ejection. So Argentina is playing with a man up. But like I said, it's about, I want to say about 7 minutes left in the period. If this game does go the full 90 and there's no score after this, 30 minutes extra time. There is no golden goal, so there is no sudden goal, a sudden victory. They have to play the full 30 regardless. So we'll keep you posted on that as we speak. But right now, Anthony Florio and myself, let's get into TNA first. We'll start it off. And our first thing for TNA we had was the tag team champions, the Hardys, going up against the Great Hands. Titles were on the line. The Hardys winning the match in 5 minutes and 34 seconds. It was what you expected. Nothing amazing. Paint by numbers, status is quo, but a good little performance by the good hands. However, the Hardys are the Hardys, and they showed why they are. So successful title defense. 534. I give this about 2 stars. Anthony, it's yours.
All right, MF. Yes. Long time no see. Anywho, let's see. As far as this is concerned, I agree. It was primarily a 2.5-star bout. No big surprise, and it also, continues the struggles going on within Order 4, and Order 4 they're in trouble. They're in big trouble right now, and you notice there is something that does need to be addressed. Mustafa Ali. You notice Mustafa Ali calling somebody. I'm like, okay, who you calling there? Who you calling there, Mustafa? I got a feeling that we could be that the Gray Hands and Tasha, I know they've been struggling as of late, and I tell you what, this could be some big trouble here for Order 4 and the Great Hands. So that's definitely something we're gonna have to keep an eye on. No question about that. And but for right now, it is a 2.5-star match, so not much more. MF, let's get to the next match.
All right. It was Vicky Vatero and going up against Indy Hartwell. This is one of the matches, first round match to determine the first ever TNA Knockouts Television Champion. Indy Hartwell advances to round number 2. She wins it in 5 minutes and 15 seconds. Anthony, it's yours.
Another no big surprise with the outcome here. This is about another 2.5-star or so bout, and just give me a moment here. All right. with the win, Indy moves on. We have to find the got to find the bracket here, and I don't know who she's scheduled to go up against next, but solid for what it was. Outcome not in doubt. We all knew Indy was going to win this. He's the far more established star. I think myself, Michael Bullock, and Mike Silvera, when we went to that TNA show last year at the Ryan Center, I think we did see Vicious Vicky. I think it might have been a dark match or something. I don't know, but I think I remember seeing her in action during the tapings last year. But yeah, solid match, 2.5 stars. Outcome never in doubt. It'll be interesting to see who Indy moves on to and who she'll face in the next round. So 2.5. MF, your thoughts?
Yeah, 2.5. I'll give you that. Let me see. Does it mention who she would be in against in the next round if she no. So it doesn't specify it. So I guess we'll look through it. We'll do some research and we'll find out, and then maybe on the next episode we'll talk about it. So with that said, we'll just move right on along. Next up we had was Leon Slater and Ricky Sosa versus the System. Brian Myers and Bear Bronson versus the Righteous. This was a triple threat tag team match. Winners of the bout in 10 minutes and 11 seconds. Ricky Sosa and Leon Slater wins it all. Good match, good hard work fight. I would say about maybe around 2.75 to 3-star bout. I thought they did a good job. Like I said, for Leon and for Ricky, this is a big win. This will move them up the ladder. Definitely. When you beat the Righteous and you beat the System, guys who are definitely at the upper echelon of the tag team division, remember, the System is former tag champions, and the Righteous you can even say should be TNA World Tag Team Champions by now, but they're not yet. But they definitely are up there. They were Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, and got to be an established tag team like these two. Anthony, major ups for Ricky Sosa and for Leon Slater, man. I think this might put them in line for a title shot down the line.
I agree. Leon Slater and Ricky Sosa are doing well enough to start, so why not see what they can do together? Ricky Sosa is someone who is at least new, and attaching him to someone as popular as Leon Slater is not a bad idea. If nothing else, it's not like Slater has anything to do until he might get a chance at the World Heavyweight Championship. So this is an interesting use of their combined talents. I'm going to give this in excess of 3.25 to 3.5. Solid action here throughout, and I'm very high on this team, and I'm definitely intrigued to see where they go. So I could see them in a tag title situation one day. We'll see. Them against the Hardys. Oh, that could feed some families right there. So 3.25, 3.5.
Yeah,
3.25, 3.5 is my rating. Let's move on to our next Knockouts TV title tournament match.
Yes, it is. Jody Threat going one-on-one with Gabby Ferroisa. It was Jody Threat. She advances 6 minutes and 29 seconds. Anthony, it is yours.
Gabby Forza absolutely made the most of her chance here, and it was quite the performance. She felt like a powerhouse that hasn't been around her since Jordan Grace, and that should be worth at least a second look. At the same time, Jody Threat is back and still pretty much what she always has been, meaning fine enough, but not someone. She's good enough, but she's not quite there for me. But we'll see. Forza stood out here, and that's all I can really say. So I'll give it 2.5, 2.75. MF, your thoughts?
Yeah, 2.5 is my rating. I thought they did a fine job with it. Could have been better in certain areas, but not too bad. Yeah, this was a solid matchup, and nothing bad to say. I thought it was a solid performance. So we go into the main event of the evening, which was for the Knockouts title. Xia Brookside, her first title defense as the newly crowned champion against Ye Ling, former champion in her own right, and they redo their rivalry. The winner of the bout in 16 minutes and 58 seconds, and still the TNA Knockouts champion Xia Brookside. Fight of the night, 3.5 to 3 3/4. You can make an argument for 4. You can make an argument for 4, but this was at least 3 3/4. It was an excellent match. Both, you saw the intensity, you saw the fire, the chemistry was there. That's always one thing that we always like to see. And I thought this was a solid matchup. This may be the end of the rivalry, and if it is, thank goodness, because that's exactly what we needed, is something down the line. And yeah, this was well done. I hope Xia can now get past and now give her really a chance to do something special down the line. So really nothing more to add. Anthony, you can make an argument for 4, but this was definitely the fight of the night.
I definitely agree with that. That this was about 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star, teetering on 4. I definitely agree with that. And let me tell you what, a really good main event that combined equal parts psychology, athleticism, and violence. And there was no way that Brookside was going to lose the title back here. But man, they definitely they gave it their all in this one. This was an excellent match, and it was a great match, and should be the end of the feud, with Brookside putting her away for good. The knee injury didn't really go anywhere, but at least they didn't spend a lot of time setting it up. Other than that, Brookside beat her pretty cleanly here, and now we get to see who is up next for the Knockouts Championship. So we'll see. 3.5, 3 3/4. So I'll just go ahead and lead off on the overall review anyway. I'm going to give this in excess of somewhere around 7, teetering on 7.5. The show was more focused on the mid card, and that's not a bad thing. If nothing else, it was nice to see those things get some focus instead of the same stuff over and over. Xia Brookside and Lei Ying Lee felt like a very big grudge match, and that served well as a main event. Other than that, the Hardys got to do their usual stuff, while Slater and Sosa had a nice start as a team. I'm not gonna go as far as to say, oh, this was a must-see show. No, it was not. It was anything but that. But I will say it did a solid and decent job. So give me around 7, 7.5. MF, your overall thoughts, and then we'll get into last night's SmackDown.
Yeah, 7 out of 10. I thought it was, like you said, it was a fine show. It wasn't the best, but like you said, it didn't need to be the best. It was a solid show. The 2 hours flew pretty well, and it flowed very good. So there wasn't really much of a complaint here more than anything else. So I mean, could have it been better in certain elements? Yes, but at the end, I thought they did a fine job with what they needed it to do. So yeah, nothing more to say. Let's get into SmackDown. Um, there was a major promo segment at the beginning with CM Punk, obviously was interrupted, and it led to Cody Rhodes, and they finally did it. They made it official. It will be CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship at SummerSlam. Really not much more to add there. We expected it. We were thinking it was probably going to happen. It happened. So we'll get into that. We'll build it down the line. We had Finn Balor versus Tama Tonga to start it off. Finn Balor winning the match in 9 minutes and 50 seconds. Solid opener. Good matchup, good fight. I would probably say this is easily about, I want to say about close to 3 stars, 3.25. Solid fight. Anthony, it's yours.
Hang on one second here. I just want to get my stuff ready here. Okay. All right. First fight out of the block here. The latest in the saga with the MFTs and the Bloodline and all that. I'll give this about what was that time again? Like 10 minutes or so?
9:25.
Almost 10 minutes. All right. Solid 3 for the effort. Finn Balor got a chance to get some retribution when he and Tama Tonga had the singles match last night. Not only did they waste no time getting right to the action, but they turned this into a fast-paced fight immediately. You could see their years of experience working together on full display. They had great chemistry and knew how to make each other look good, so they had no problems making this a fun bout. Tala Tonga, the big man, his interference almost cost Finn at the end, but Finn was able to get the win in the end. Tama is trying to put his past behind him, but that does not appear to be as easy as he had hoped. And while it's nice that WWE is acknowledging the history between these men from before WWE, it would be even better if they worked with New Japan to license some footage so fans could be filled in on everything. Tama and Tala can be a decent tag team if WWE books them right, but they have been so involved with the MFT story for so long that some fans may have no interest in them holding the titles again. So that's really all I can say on that. So, solid 3 stars. MF, I know you know that history better than anybody, with Finn Balor and Tama Tonga, Hikuleo, going back to their days in the Bullet Club. You know that better than anyone. So, I know it's bringing back some memories for you. So, solid 3. Let's move on to our next match.
In a way, yes, it does bring back memories. But the thing is that Balor was only there for a brief time, so they didn't really work that much together. As a matter of fact, Hikuleo was not even a member of the original Bullet Club when Balor left. That's when Hikuleo kind of came in. But this was well after the fact. So yeah, I mean, it was still pretty solid. Like, but Tama Tonga definitely knows him really well. So yeah. But other than that, yeah, it doesn't really go beyond that. But yeah, it was fun for what it was worth. It was good. So really nothing more to say. We're just gonna move right on along. Next up, we did have was Jimmy Uso going one-on-one with Royce Keys. Jimmy Uso winning the match 9 minutes and 25 seconds. So Anthony, it is yours.
Pretty much the same time as the last match.
I made a mistake because the first match was actually 9 minutes and 50 seconds. So this one's 9:25.
I was going to give it that 3 to 3 1/4 anyway.
Yeah.
And the same can be said for this as well. 3, maybe 3 1/4, but I'm leaning more towards 3 for this one. The match we got here felt off in some ways. It was a little slow in certain spots, and it never felt like Keys and Uso had much chemistry. They had some moves that were mistimed, but it was not completely devoid of entertainment. Solo showed up and attacked Jimmy, but Jacob came back to fight him. They brawled at ringside while Jimmy got the win with a spear. It's a little sad that the most exciting part of Uso versus Keys was the fight between Solo and Jacob, and then Jacob turning on Royce after it was over. The way WWE is telling this story with Jacob Fatu is so strange. It's not quite inconsistent, but it's getting there. Having him only be loyal to Roman, but not the bloodline, could be interesting if WWE lean into it more. So that's all I can say. Solid 3. MF, your thoughts?
Yeah, solid 3. They did a fine job with it. Could have been better, but I'm not going to argue it. I thought they did fine for what it's worth. There's really not much more to say there. So we do move on. Next up was Jade Cargill versus Alexa Bliss. Jade Cargill winning the match in roughly 7 minutes. Look, it was basically it was what it needed it to be. It adds a little more fuel to the fire to the match at SummerSlam between Jade Cargill and Charlotte Flair because now it's personal. Jade injured Alexa Bliss. Now, there are rumors going around that Alexa is going to be written off TV, and it sounds like that is going to happen now. So a lot of people are going to be very, very, very upset with this news. So you're getting the heat, you're getting the anger, you're getting whatever you want, and you can go from there. At the end of the day, it was solid. So yeah, really nothing bad to say. Another about 2.5. Anthony, Jade Cargill wins in roughly 7 minutes.
there's definitely something we need to address after that in just a moment. 2.5, 2 3/4. We have seen several different matches featuring these two teams in recent weeks, with Tiffany Stratton and Chelsea Green also being involved in many of them, so it was starting to feel repetitive. In fact, we just saw this same pairing have a singles match at the end of May. The size difference between them put Alexa into the underdog role, which is not a problem since she usually ends up being the smallest competitor in the ring, but it does add to the repetitiveness we mentioned. First half of the bout, a little sloppy. Second half, much better. Alexa put up a good fight, but Jade wins it with the jaded. WWE has the foundation for a good women's tag team division, but inconsistent booking has kept it from reaching its potential. Jade Cargill should not be making some of the mistakes she still makes at this point in her career. Sometimes a move won't land, but she will still try to sell it instead of moving on. And other times she doesn't sell for long enough. And it will always be disturbing when Alexa Bliss uses her double jointed elbow to fake an injury. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
MF. Bullock and I had our Smackdown chat last night, and needless to say, both of us were freaked out about it, especially Bullock. Bullock saying, "Yeah, that arm's not supposed to bend that way." Yeah, and I even told him it reminded me of another injury, which I'm not going to mention because I don't want to bring back any painful memories. But I think you know where I'm going.
I think I know where you're going. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm not going to rehash it because I don't want to.
Well, they did actually mention it on air that Alexa did suffer an injury, and they're saying that she's going to be out 6 months. Is what they're saying.
Oh damn, she's done for the year.
Yeah, that's what they're talking. That's what Wade Barrett mentioned. So
okay.
So he's saying that this must be storyline progression. This must be storyline driven because we haven't heard anything about a major injury for Alexa. So that's why I'm wondering, was this but at the end, we got to wait and see how it plays out. But at the end, I think Alexa's taking time away. I don't know if it's because of her family or I don't know if it's because of something going on with Alexa because I haven't heard anything about an injury for Alexa.
No,
but,
me neither.
Yeah, so could she be filming a movie or something? Or is it just because, something with her daughter? I don't know. We'll see. But
Jade and Charlotte. I think this gives ammunition for Charlotte and Jade because it's being rumored for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I think this is the ammunition for Charlotte.
This would most definitely be the ammunition for Charlotte. No, definitely. I agree with that. So we'll see. But because Alexa's going to be away for a while, a lot of people is going to miss little Miss Bliss, man. That 5 feet of fury, man. So we're definitely going to miss her being in being out of WWE because if it's true that she's out if it's true that she's out 6 months, like you said, that means that she's done.
She's done for 2026.
Done for the year. Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe there's a outside chance that the earliest possible date we could see her back, maybe the next year's Rumble. She would probably be a Rumble. Obviously, they'll probably bring her back by Rumble. Obviously, again, unless we hear something different. But I don't know. We'll see. Yeah.
All right. Main event was Trick Williams to go up against Carmelo Hayes, non-title. Fight gets thrown out in 10 minutes and 20 seconds or in 10 and a half minutes because Baron Corbin showed up and ruined the match. Whoa! Who had that in their bingo cards, Anthony Florio? Baron Corbin is back.
First of all, did you do your legendary what on that?
Yes.
Well, obviously we had to do our Corey and Sean, and then you yell out what, and then I'm like, that's Baron Corbin. You're like, that's who? Yeah, I know. And you're like, by God. And then you pull the JR and say, by God, it is Baron Corbin. And like, what is the meaning of this? That's exactly what you said. And I'm going to tell you another something that Bullock and I did on our Smackdown chat last night. I mean, we actually brought up his name because, because we actually did talk a little bit about Danhausen. And, there were a lot of dirt sheets going around saying that Baron Corbin was the experiment that Danhausen's been, concocting over the last several weeks. And
Yeah.
I think it's needless to say he's no longer he's no longer
gonna be, yeah. It will not be Baron Corbin will not be the Danhausen minion as we
thank
thought he was
goodness.
gonna be. So it's not him. So now the question is, who's it gonna be? Who's next?
Maybe we'll find out next Saturday night in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
For Saturday night's main event.
Saturday main events next week. Yeah, next Saturday night from the Garden. Yeah.
You better believe we'll be ready we're going to have a show on that. You better believe it. And I mean,
as a matter of fact, our Cerebral Smack Talk is going to be moved for that one night only. Yeah, we're moving it. We are literally moving the show from Friday to Saturday. Next week, it will be a Saturday show.
Nice.
To incorporate with the Saturday night's main event.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, and we brought his name up, and then as soon as we saw Baron, I was a little, believe it or not, even though I have a device, I actually do have an app that puts me just a smidgen ahead of Bullock, and I yelled out Baron Corbin, and Bullock was like, "What?" And I'm like, "Did you say Baron Corbin?" I'm like, "Yes, I did." And then when he saw him, we were like, "Yo, Florio, we were just talking about him," and we had just been talking about him right at that moment almost, and I'm like, yeah, needless to say, he's not the Danhausen experiment anymore. And
no.
Man, what a shocker there. But and one other thing. What was up with that tricked out US title, Little Yachty? Oh. This ranks right up there with that bling bling sideshow WWE championship belt. Holy hell. But that's the only thing that was worse than that. Only thing worse than that is that the bling bling sideshow belt. But
now hold. Is that the one that Little Yachty was bringing out, or was that the one that Trick Williams had?
That it's the one that Yachty presented, that Yachty gave to him.
Ah.
Yeah, Yachty. Little Yachty.
Lil Yachty gifted him a newer version of the. So wait, did he retire the other belt, or is it just?
It's got to be one of those custom belt things, I'm sure.
All right.
You didn't see it?
So as long as he's the champion, he'll hold on to that belt. But once he loses it, then they'll probably go back with the traditional U.S. heavyweight title.
Did you by any chance see it, MF?
I have not seen it yet. No.
You're gonna feel the same way I do. Trust me when I tell you. When you see it.
All right.
Oh. You know how Trick has that big old white fur coat?
Yeah.
Let's just say
it's similar to that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yep.
Yeah.
Say less.
Yeah.
No need to say anything more.
Yep. All right. I can tell you how I really feel. But
I'll see it for myself.
Okay, that's what you meant. All right. But I'll tell you what. I mean, as someone who is a high-bound traditionalist, I will honestly admit I'm a high-bound traditionalist, and that belt did not sit well with me. I'll be honest with you, because you know how much respect I have for the United States Heavyweight Championship. The very first title holder, the late great Harley Race, and all the legends and Hall of Famers who have held that belt, whether it was in WWE or whether it was in NWA, WCW, you name it. I mean, did not sit well with me. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell it like it is. But all right, enough of this. Let's get to the match itself. Putting this match in the quote unquote main event spot when it comes to the in-ring action, it was smart. because WWE knows it can rely on these two men to put on a great show every time they work together. Even with as many times as we have seen them fight, it never feels like too much because they always find a way to make it feel fresh. The most interesting thing is how the roles have reversed. Back in NXT, Carmelo Hayes was the big dog and Trick Williams was his hype man. These days, it feels like Trick is the biggest star and Melo is fighting to keep up, which makes their storyline much more intriguing. Rumors of Baron Corbin returning to WWE have been swirling for weeks, but we got confirmation when he showed up and attacked both men to end this match prematurely. It's never ideal to have an inconclusive ending, but everything up to that point was great. The return of Corbin is going to be met with mixed reactions from fans, but the way WWE did it definitely gave him some momentum right out of the gate. Lil Yachty gave Trick a special U.S. title with white fur on the belt. It's going to be so hard to keep that thing clean. And that's all there is to say. So I was going to give it 3.5, call it the fight of the night, but I'm bumping it down to 3.25, even though it made sense in the context here. And who knows? I could see a possible fatal 4-way coming out of this for SummerSlam. I think it's going to be Trick versus Melo versus Ricky Saints, because Ricky wants another shot at it.
Yep.
And then you can add Corbin to the mix. Corbin, a former U.S. champion in his own right. Let's not forget that. So
yeah.
So I'm thinking 4-way MF out of this. So 3.25 down from 3.5 originally. MF. Wow. Baron Corbin back. Man, they got us good on that one.
Yeah, they absolutely did. I don't think none of us saw that one coming, but yeah, here it is. Yeah, about 3.25, 3.5 is my rating as well. I thought they did a fine job with it. It was a great matchup. Definitely to say the very least, and there's really not much more to add there. So the final thing that they did have was a storyline. It was basically they did make a big announcement first that at the Saturday night's main event, we're going to have a tag team match, playa. It will be the new WWE champion, CM Punk. His partner will be Cody Rhodes, his opponent at SummerSlam. And they will be going up against the tag team of Gunther and Sami Zayn. But the thing was, they were wondering, well, are we going to get, Gunther was demanding a shot at the title, and Nick Aldis said no. That led to Gunther attacking Aldis at the end of the show, prompting Cody Rhodes to come out. Yeah. So we got our main event match at the Saturday night's main event with CM Punk and Cody Rhodes against Sami Zayn and Gunther. But oh boy, I mean,
can they coexist?
Can both teams coexist? Because you know how that's going right now. Then on top of that, you kind of have to feel like Aldis, who just got reinstated as the general manager for Smackdown, and the thing is, he gets jumped by Gunther again. It's getting to the point where I don't know what.
The ice is about to break.
Happen. He's gonna Gunther is riding a slippery slope right now. You just put your hands on the general manager. So, I mean, oh boy.
There will be some repercussions coming out of
There has to be.
Friday night, we'll find out.
We'll find out, yeah. So
and Nick Aldis wrestling his first match in 5 years, as you mentioned. I mean,
and it's funny because a lot of people thought it was going to be him and Drew McIntyre at first, and now it probably most likely won't because we haven't heard Drew come back anytime soon. So I mean,
movies.
Yeah, because of the movies. So I don't know, man. I mean, this is wild. This is crazy.
It is
unreal. So, all right, overall review. It was all right. It was okay. I'm not gonna say it was anything amazing, but I mean, it could have been better. But at the end of the day, I could give this about maybe, I don't know, maybe 7 out of 10. I may be being generous with that. Anthony, it's yours.
What would you consider a solid C for a letter grade? Would you consider it right around that area?
It's about 7. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's my, me and the letter grades lately. Solid C.
Basically, if it's a C, that means it would be between 6 and 7.
Exactly. That's where I'm heading. Right around that 6 to 7 threshold. Solid C. Um, you mentioned about all this informing Gunther that he will be teaming with Sami Zayn to take on Cody Rhodes and CM Punk at Saturday night's main event instead of the WWE Championship match that he wanted, and that led to Gunther attacking him. Last night's SmackDown probably looks like an average episode on paper, but ended up being on the disappointing side. Almost everything we got last night either felt like a repeat of something we just saw or was not interesting enough to keep our attention. Finn Balor and Tama Tonga, decent showing in their match, but the main event stole the show with ease. Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes are the kind of rivals WWE can rely on for strong performances every single night, and we will likely see this feud revisited many times in the coming years. The return of Baron Corbin is the kind of thing that will depend on how you personally feel about him. Some might be excited, others might be scratching their heads in confusion, and others might even downright hate it. WWE is in a weird spot these days. The show is rarely bad, but more often than not, it's forgettable, which is just as bad for the product as a whole. Fans have so many options for wrestling these days, so WWE needs to find a way to stand out again. They really do. So, between 6 and 7, solid C. That's my grade. So, MF, I understand you've got we got the Mikey's mindset here. I know you got, what do you got? AAA World Cup. What do you got?
I got AAA first. The show just ended a short time ago. We started out with a 6-man, with a triple threat, number 1 contenders for the Cruiserweight Championship of the world. Current champion right now is Rey Fenix. And this matchup was to determine the number 1 contender. You had Jack Cartwheel, Mini Vicino, and Dragon Lee. And it was Mini Vicino winning it all. He's now the number 1 contender. He will get the shot at the title in 8 minutes and 20 seconds. Then the next thing that we did have was we had the Money Machine. They went up against Noisy Boy and Espadamas Jr. And it was the fight got thrown out because Los Perros de Mal hit the ring and cleared everybody out. 7 minutes and 38 seconds was the end of the fall. And yeah, it was basically because Los Perros de Mal showed up. Carmen Petrovic was the first one to hit, and then the boys hit. Garza, Angel, and Berto and Garza hit the ring. Then also Daga hit the ring, and they absolutely destroyed everybody in sight and left a mark on the ring, basically saying that, yeah, they're here, and they're here to destroy everyone in sight. And yeah, that was a devastating way. Just give me a second. I want to see if there's anything more, because I know the show just ended, so I'm wondering if they updated it, the rest of the show. Let me see, because I saw this. Let's see, was there anything else? Oh, actually, this might be the end. Oh, so there wasn't anything else. So the Perros de Mal comes out. Daga calls out El Grande Americano, and it looks like okay, Ryo and Bravo showed up. Then they try to, and okay. Then Dirty Dom's music hits and chases the Perros de Mal, saying that it's business and that he'll face. Okay, so at the next event, the next live show for AAA, it will be 2 members of Los Perros de Mal, and they are going to team up to take on the mega campeón Dominic Mysterio, and he's gonna team with El Grande Americano. All right, that's interesting. So we got that, and that will end AAA because I guess it was a short show. So let's get into the FIFA World Cup briefly. Let me just pull up my notes for that. And here we go. We are in the quarterfinals, like we said, of the FIFA World Cup. And here's how everything has broken down to this point. First, it started on Tuesday with the quarterfinals. Or actually, it started on Thursday was the quarters from Boston. And it was France beating Morocco, going to the semifinals. Final score was 2-0. Kylian Mbappe getting one of the goals, and then Dembele getting the second goal in the 66th minute. This was pure domination by France. They absolutely hammered and destroyed. Really not much more to add there. The next game was held last night or yesterday afternoon, as it was Spain knocking out Belgium by the final score of 2-1. Ruiz getting the goal in the 30th minute. Then Calate for Belgium getting it in the 41st. And then Moreno getting the winner in the 88th minute. That advances and that puts them over the top. Spain will play France next Tuesday in the first semifinal. And then earlier today, it was the other matchup as we had Norway versus England. England goes to the semifinals. They win it. They won it by the final score of 2-1 in extra time. The first goal was scored by Norway in the 36th minute. Then the second goal right near before halftime, it was Jude Bellingham getting the goal. And then in the extra time, in overtime, 3 minutes into the overtime, Bellingham scores again, getting the brace, and that is the end. They win it. And the fourth game that's going on as of right now, as we speak, we are in overtime. They just finished the first overtime period. The second overtime is about to begin. We are 1-1 between Argentina and Switzerland right now. Like I said, Switzerland is playing with one man down as one of Enebo getting the red card after getting 2 yellows in the 72nd minute. He has been tossed out of the game, and they are playing one man down. We are just about set to start the second overtime period. It's about to begin right now. So we got that. And let me see. Was there a big three today? I don't know if big three was today or tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
All right, it is tomorrow. However, for you folks, because we haven't done any big three, I'll get into that right now. Let me see if I can pull up the records or whatnot. Let me see. Hold on. Going into the official website. Of course, they call this the Summer of Ball, and we're going to be doing that again tomorrow. All right, here we go. So, the big three. We are already in week 4. Wow. So, right now, the games we got tomorrow are, and this is from the Galen Center in Los Angeles, and the first games are going to be the Miami 305, the reigning and defending champions, going up against the Houston Rights, and then the second game will be the DMV Trilogy versus the Dallas Power. That will be exclusively on CBS and on BET. Then the third and fourth game will be on Fubo Sports or YouTube.com. It will be the LA Riot and the Detroit Amps. And then the final game, the Boston Bullhogs versus the Chicago Triplets. Now, the standings as of right now, as of the start of the season, goes like this. Dallas and Chicago are right now undefeated. They are 3-0. Boston is not far behind. They're 2-1. So is the DMV trilogy. They're at 2-1. Miami is at 1-2. LA at 1-2. And then Detroit and Houston have not won a game yet. So remember, the top 4 automatically qualifies for the playoff. We are almost halfway through the season. So we'll keep you posted on all that going on. And that is it, guys. So we are done. Tuesday night, we do it all over again with another edition of Ridiculously Raw, hosted by Anthony Florio. He will have Monday Night Raw. He will have NXT. And then we'll keep you posted on everything else. We will let you know right now that we will have that the big thing that we'll have is next Saturday is our edition of Cerebral Smack Talk, as we will have obviously TNA, we'll have Smackdown, and we will recap the Saturday night's main event. So that will be down to, next Saturday at 10:30. So until then, for Anthony Florio, I am Michael Fletcher saying thank you so much for watching. Like the video, leave a comment, share with all your friends on all the social media platforms around the world. And we'll see you all next week. So long for now.
Goodbye.